The one question that could save you tens of thousands of dollars in retirement is sitting right in front of you, and almost nobody is asking it. We're talking about the fork in the road between Medicare and private insurance, and getting this wrong could drain your savings faster than a market crash. Every year, millions of Americans turn 65 and suddenly face a decision that feels like defusing a bomb with oven mitts on. The stakes are real. One wrong move, and you're staring down a $20,000 hospital bill that you thought was covered. The single question you need to ask is this: how much healthcare do I actually use? And how unpredictable is that going to get? That one question rewires the entire decision, because it forces you to stop shopping for premiums and start shopping for your actual life. Here's the irony that nobody talks about. Private insurance loves healthy people, and Medicare was literally built for the people. Private insurance quietly hopes won't call. So the system isn't broken, it's working exactly as designed, just maybe not in your favor. Let's unpack the mechanics, because this isn't just a feelings decision, it's a math decision wrapped in emotions. Medicare Part A and Part B cover hospital and outpatient care, but gaps exist, which is why products like Medigap and Medicare Advantage enter the chat like an uninvited but surprisingly useful house guest. Private insurance, especially if you retire before 65, can feel like freedom until you see the premium for a 63-year-old and realize freedom has a monthly invoice. The optimism people feel at early retirement often collides hard with the reality that private market premiums can run $800 to $1,500 a month for a single person. What history shows us, going back to Medicare's creation in 1965, is that public coverage for older Americans was born precisely because the private market failed that demographic repeatedly. Every decade since has added another layer. Part D in 2003 for prescriptions. Medicare Advantage expansions, each one a signal that the system keeps adapting because the need keeps growing. A common misconception is that Medicare means worse care or limited doctors, but studies consistently show Medicare beneficiaries report high satisfaction and broad network access. The real trade-off isn't quality, it's flexibility in structure. And understanding that difference changes everything. Now here's a practical playbook. If you're healthy, rarely see specialists, and want low monthly costs, Medicare with a solid Medigap supplement can be extraordinarily efficient. But if you have ongoing complex conditions, specific specialist relationships, or you retire before 65, your calculus shifts significantly toward private coverage or bridging strategies. The disciplined move the one financial planners and Medicare specialists both preach is to project your expected annual healthcare spend across 3 to 5 years, not just look at this month's premium. Unemotional, systematic planning beats gut instinct here every single time. And position sizing your healthcare budget is just as important as any investment decision you'll ever make. What the community of retirement planners keeps circling back to is this: healthcare is the single largest wildcard expense in retirement, regularly blowing up even well-constructed financial plans. That collective wisdom isn't fear-mongering, it's pattern recognition from watching thousands of families navigate this exact crossroads. There's also a psychological layer here that doesn't get enough airtime. People choose plans based on what they fear, not what they need. Fear of complexity pushes some toward Medicare too early, while fear of government programs pushes others toward private coverage they can barely afford. And both of those are emotional decisions dressed up as logical ones. The philosophical bottom line is that consistency, preparation, and honest self-assessment beat clever optimization every time in healthcare planning. You don't need to predict the future, you need a plan that survives multiple futures, which is a very different and much more achievable goal. Whether you land on Medicare, a private bridge plan, or some hybrid strategy, the outcome matters far less than the discipline you bring to the decision-making process. Comfort with any outcome comes from knowing you asked the right questions, ran the honest numbers, and chose with eyes wide open rather than crossed fingers. And if you're navigating the bigger picture of retirement, whether that includes real estate investing, home contracting needs, or finding the right lenders to support your next chapter, check out our links in the description below, because we can help you get started.